Yo, yo. If you did watch the last one that I just posted a little bit earlier today, sorry I had to cut it a little bit short there, but I'm gonna hop back in and just try to find a few more. I'm kind of scrambling with my lead follow up right now. I let a few go past due only because they weren't really leads, so I'm having to like pick through the ones that I feel are worth calling back and spending my time on. But yeah, let me try to get a hold of somebody here. The woman I talked to earlier, that was a good one. I just got to keep in front of her. All right. Said his tenant has been there for 5 years and that they are going through credit check and whatnot right now in order to purchase that place. He sounded like he had property in Richmond and Rosenberg, as he mentioned as he mentioned this when he forgot that he owned something in the city that I'm looking at. And I kind of just made a note that I think it's worth following up in a few months. I last spoke with this guy in April. It's July. It's almost exactly 3 months later. We'll go ahead and push this to Zillow and see what it's looking like. But I'll go ahead and give him a call, see if his tenants, in fact, did end up purchasing this place or are in the process of purchasing it, whatever. I'm just going to try to open up this conversation a little bit. Oh.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 28178561555 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi there. My name is Derek. Me and you had spoke a few months back in regards to your property over on North 3rd Street. At the time, you had let me know that your tenants that were living there were going through, credit checks and what have you in order to actually purchase that place there. I just wanted to follow up, round back with you to just be sure that that is still the case. If it was not, I'd love to be able to learn a little bit about the property and get you an offer to see if it's something that you may be interested in. Again, my name is Derek, and if there is any interest, you can reach me on my direct line, which is area code 832-324. All right, no answer from that guy. Left him a voicemail. I'll shoot him a text. Why not? It looks like it's a mobile phone number. I'll say, my name is Derek, period. You and I had spoken about your property on North 3rd Street a few months back, period. It sounded like your tenants were going to purchase it from you, comma, but that they needed to, I don't like that. But I wanted to round back to confirm that this was still the case. I'm just going to say, it sounded like your tenants were going to purchase from you, period. Is that still the case? Question mark. Because I can see that he still owns it. I feel like it may have been texted asking if tenants were still buying it. I'll push that out a couple weeks. There's no urgency on that one. I feel like it could have been just like a way to nicely say no to me at the time that we spoke. All right, this is a hot one. It's not something that they're ready to move forward on, but I just want to stay in front of them and let him know that I'm thinking about him. Oh, didn't go through. This guy, I've spoken about him before. His mother, they're waiting to see if she's eligible for a kidney transplant. So he initially requested a call after the 19th. Today's the 12th. So he when we spoke maybe 1-2 weeks ago, he said that they're not going to find out whether or not his mom's going to be eligible for that kidney transplant or whether or not she's going to get on the list for a transplant until after her appointment on the 19th. He had told me that, and then I asked, if you don't mind, is it all right with you if I just follow up before that, just in case anything changes? I would hate to just lose contact with you and something change on your end. And he says, yeah, that's not a problem as long as you don't feel like you're wasting your time. I was like, oh no, not at all. So I'm gonna call him, 2 days from now, because again, with this one, I'm pretty confident on. We haven't talked numbers. This is the first time I've kind of approached it in this manner where we haven't talked numbers, but there's a lot going on, right? Him and his mother have motivation. The condition is also, she noted, I initially talked to the mother on the initial cold call. She was talking about it pretty much needs to be gutted and remodeled. So just like, it kind of seems like the perfect storm, and it seemed like the perfect opportunity to approach it this way where I don't talk numbers, right? Where I'm wanting to just really solve their problems and see the best way that I can help out, even if it's not me buying it. But he even said, like, I don't want to talk numbers until we get into it, right? So there's that one. I don't think it's worth following up with this guy right now. He had said that he thought about selling it in the past, but his daughter, it's the kind of situation where he wants to just run it by his kids, right? Because it's like he knows eventually, and unfortunately, he will pass away one day, and he wants to know what his kids want to do with it. Hey, are you going to want to take over this property? Or are you going to want to, it's a big asset here. What do you want me to do with it? I'm really asking for your sake. And she had said, don't sell it. So he had said that he was thinking about moving up to the lake, whatever that means. There's so many lakes in the area. And I got permission from him to follow up every so often just to see if anything's changed. So I had only talked to him about a month ago. I'm going to push this one out a couple months, to be honest. I'll push it out another month. I just want to be that, I don't want to convince him to sell if his daughter doesn't want him to, but like, I'd love to be the voice of reason. Like, what does she plan on doing with it? Does she plan on buying it, or does she plan on just waiting for you to pass away? Because if that's the case, that's pretty shitty in my opinion. Like, no, don't sell it. I want it when you die. It's like, what? What are you gonna do with it? You're gonna sell it when I die, or you know what I mean? Like, it just seemed. I remember this conversation specifically. It seemed like the daughter kind of selfishly is forcing him to not sell it, and kind of using his own consideration against him because he's obviously being considerate, asking her if it's okay to sell, as if she has any say so. But yeah. All right, this guy I spoke with on a cold call. He was busy at the time we had connected, and he just asked for a call next week. This was 10 days ago. He said, "Yeah, give me a call next week, and I'll let you know what I want to do with it." And before I got off the phone, I just wanted to confirm, and I said, "Okay, but just to confirm, you would sell it?" And he says, "Yeah, I'd sell it." So like, all right, so I'll give this guy a call back right now. His name is Victor. I don't know anything about the property though. I just know that he might sell it. Something's up with my connection. I'm not connecting to my Google Voice number as conveniently as I'd like. Let's see, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,500 square feet. Like it could do some landscape work. His estimate's about 150. I think I just went away. 160 is this estimate. I'd probably be around 80. See what it's looking like. Looks like he's owned it for about 9 years. Bought it cash 9 years ago. Yeah, let's try to get him on the phone if my Google Voice wants to work. I would love to get him on the phone, see what he's talking about. All right, there it goes.
Victor Ramos, please leave the name and number, and I'll keep back with you as soon as I can. Thank you, and have a great day.
Hey, Victor, this is Derek. We had spoke about a week or two ago in regards to your property over on Texas Street. I was just rounding back with you. When we initially spoke, I think I caught you at a bad time, and you had asked for a call next week. So I was just rounding back with you. I'd love to learn a little bit more about the property and see what kind of offer I could make you. If there is still any interest in selling, you can reach out to me directly at area code 832. I'll talk to you soon. No answer. Left voicemail. I'm going to text him as well. Talk to text here. Hey, Victor, period. This is Derek, period. We spoke last week about your property on Texas Street, and I wanted to reach out and see if there was still any interest in receiving an offer, period. Were you still interested in selling? Question mark. I'm trying to start framing my text with questions so that they actually respond. A lot of times I've found that if I'm just making statements, then it gives them no reason to reach back out, right? If I was just saying, hey, We talked about your property and wanted to see if there's any interest in receiving an offer. It's like yes or no. He doesn't really have anything to respond with. So I'm gonna follow up with, were you still interested in selling? Question mark. Hey Victor, this is Derek. We spoke last week about your property on Taylor Street, and I wanted to reach out. I wanted to. I just wanted to. I wanted to see if there was still an. See if you still had interest in receiving an offer. Were you still interested in selling? Question mark. Call him back in a week. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. All right, this is the first time I'm calling this gentleman. I spoke with his wife on the initial cold call, and she was actually in the hospital when I connected with her. She said that her and her husband had thought about selling, but that she was in the hospital and that I needed to speak with the husband. So she gave me his number. I believe his name is JC or James, and said that I would need to speak with him. So I'm gonna reach out right now. Again, first time. I know nothing about the property, anything like that. Hi there. I'm sorry. Is this Miss Robertson?
Oh, yes, Miss Robertson.
I'm sorry.
This is Miss Robertson.
Hello. This is Derek. I think me and you had actually spoke about a week or two ago in regards to your property on Burke Road.
Oh, sure. You want to speak to my husband?
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone. My granddaughter so he left a while ago. I don't know if he went to the seed store or what.
Okay.
Anyway, can I help you anyway? I don't know.
Well, for us, I can just kind of let you know. When we spoke, I just wanted to make sure. Last time we spoke, you were in the hospital. Is everything all right?
Well, I'm certainly good, but
Good.
everything's not quite all right.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm a lot better.
Good. That's good to hear. I just
Wow.
wanted to make sure. Yeah.
So you're interested in the house on Bird?
Yeah. So just to kind of let you know, me and my partner, we're looking to pick up a few properties in the area. We can pay cash. We can cover all of the costs and the fees associated with it, and the best part is we'll buy the properties, as is. So you're not needing to, make any repair. Yeah. So you're not needing to kind of make any repairs or do anything like that before it's sold.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
the last time we spoke.
Well, how about calling me back when my husband's here?
Sure.
So we can discuss it together. Okay?
Absolutely. That sounds perfect. When's an appropriate time to call back?
Oh, why don't you call? Let's see. Maybe in the morning.
Okay. Tomorrow morning?
Yeah, about 10 or 11.
Okay. That works perfect. I'll reach back out around then.
Okay. What's your name?
My name is Derek.
Derek.
Yeah.
All right, Derek. We'll talk to you in the morning then.
All right. And I'm sorry, I didn't catch your first name.
Martha.
Okay, Martha. I will talk to you tomorrow morning then. Have a great rest of your evening.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. That was a mistake on my end. I accidentally called her again. There's two numbers saved, and she had given me his number the last time we spoke, but I'm looking at my notes and I just called the same number, but there's no reason to call him now if I'm going to try to get a hold of the both of them tomorrow morning. So called Mrs. R. Martha. I'm going to say Derek accidentally called her back instead of JC's number. Martha confirmed that there was she didn't really confirm it, but she kind of did. There was interest in selling the property, but that she would like a call back tomorrow morning when she seemed to like the as is thing too. And based off of the sound of it, it doesn't sound like she's talking with other people because that's very common. I try to chop it up a little bit to make it sound like I'm coming up with these benefits on the spot. Sometimes it comes across as like a lack of confidence, and I'm trying to work on finding that like that middle ground, right? Of like not sounding like I'm reading from a script, but also sounding like I'm a complete newbie. Um, just again, the way that she is responding to it, it doesn't sound like she, at least, is receiving a lot of calls, which is really good. I try to dive into the whole medical issues. Obviously, me and her haven't built enough rapport for her to start disclosing all this information, and I really didn't want to dig any deeper than I already did. I just wanted to make sure that I couldn't really understand her. She said that she's better, that's for sure, but that she's not okay. I think that's what I gathered from that. It sounds like she may be sick, and I would probably bet money that that's the reason why they're considering selling. So that's going to be kind of an early morning call for me, but that's all right. This is a good one too. I haven't really learned too much about it, but I'm going to put it here on my lead board. Got a little bit of a tracker here just so that I can see the kind of warmer properties in front of my face. Everybody's going to screenshot that right now. Make sure they steal all my leads. It's all good though. There's enough going around. But again, yeah, I just want to see it in front of my face. That was a good one though. I'm gonna go ahead and mark it as a follow-up. I won't really consider that a lead quite yet. Until I have that conversation with the husband, it sounds like, who's gonna be the decision maker. Let's see if I got a few more to call. I mean, I for sure have a few more, but whether or not, again, it's worth my time and worth filming is a whole nother story. Here's the 12. Well, this guy right here, I'm going to go ahead and push this tomorrow for me to do, but just kind of a little, I thought it was interesting. I cold called his mother. His mother was not interested in selling her house, but when I asked if she had any others, she said, well, my son is actually looking to sell his property. Is it okay if I give him your number? I said, yes, please do. And he called back. I might have even filmed it the other day, to be honest. He called back and he didn't disclose it. I ended up finding it out on my own, but it's listed. It's listed on market right now for $250,000, which is what the Zestimate is. But the place is like a quarter done. It seemed to be like a rehab project that he abandoned. So he knows now, after getting a bunch of offers, it sounds like, or a bunch of just conversations that he's having with other investors, that he knows the 250 is way out of the picture. Sounds like I was saying I would probably be somewhere in the range of 120 to 150. And he asked if I could do 175. I said, no, that's too much. And he was like, well, I got an offer for 155 in the past, but I refused it because of the agent thing. What's going on really is he's now lowered his expectations and he's asking a reasonable price, but he regrets listing it with an agent because they're going to take their cut. They're going to take their commission. So it's like, it's just that little window of that margin right there of the commission is making all the difference for him. So he's already lowered his expectations from 250 to 175. Sounds like he wants to walk with like 150, 155 after the commissions, but people aren't going as high as 175. So he needs that extra little push where he lowers his expectations down maybe another $10,000, $15,000, where he ends up walking with like 130, 140. And then, his agent still gets the cut. Sounds like the agent did him dirty, got him locked in for a year listing agreement. And I don't know what kind of conversation they had, or if the seller, really forced the agent's hand to list it at the price where it's listed at. But if the agent was agreeing with him or filling his head with the idea that he may be able to get 250 is just outrageous. So based off what it looks like, I think the agent did him dirty. And that's what he was saying. He's like, I just want to sell it. Like, I'm so tired. It's already been on market for like 3-4 months, and he's locked in for like another 8-9 months. So he just wants to sell it. But this isn't something I'm going to pursue because it just doesn't seem worth my time to try to jump through all the hoops that it's going to take to close on this on market property. I don't have proof of funds or anything like that. So I'm actually just going to kick this lead to somebody else in my market. If they end up closing, I really don't expect any type of kickback or referral fee or anything like that. But I'd imagine, he's a good guy. I'd imagine that he would if they end up closing on it. But I don't even know if this is something where somebody's going to want to close on it, to be honest. It's like a waterfront property. In the area, I don't know if this specific area gets flooding, but the city gets flooding in general, and it being right on the water kind of worries me a little bit. But I haven't really dug deep and done my research on that. So this is another guy. I'm gonna try him once more. I kind of gave up on this guy, but I'm gonna try him again right now. This was a lead. This was a hot lead. He was embarrassed about how poor the condition was. He was asking a reasonable price. It's just that his mother was actually on title and his sister had a say so in it as well. And haven't been able to connect with him since. Seems like a lot of the same.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. Sorry, the
mailbox is full. So I'm gonna write this guy a handwritten letter to both his address and his mailing address that's on file. I think that may be his sister or his mom's house or something like that, because he lives in the property. I was able to confirm that. But yeah, I'm gonna send him a handwritten offer, or at least just a handwritten letter saying like, yo, what's up? We talked. You were looking for this price. You said that it needs these repairs. Are you still looking to sell? So that's everybody I think worth calling right now. Pretty good day all in all. I was able to pull a lead down during my cold calling session. I'm considering it a lead. I know a lot of people probably wouldn't, but only because I didn't really get much information. The information that I did get was that he thought the properties were worth $40,000. He has two properties side by side. I was looking at one property, and he says that they're each worth $40,000, and the Zestimate on the one was $120,000. So that's why I'm considering it a lead, even if it needs to be torn down. Even if it needs to be torn down and it's like ends up being a new construction play, I think 40 could probably still work. 40 would be cutting it close, only because of the demolition and the getting the land built ready. But I'd probably be around 30, and I think that he'd be willing to talk numbers, right? Talk shop, negotiate, because he already threw out 40,000, and it just ended on a really good note. The conversation had really high vibes. He wished me a good day. He just like liked what I was talking about. I was talking to him like this. I try really hard to match and mirror the other people's tone and what have you. And he was talking like this, so I kind of fell back and started talking to him casually, like, yeah, I'm taking a look at that property. Yeah, I'm interested, And I caught him at a bad time. So I asked, when's a more appropriate time? And he says next Tuesday around the same time. Sounds like he probably has some availability. So I'm gonna give him a call then. And like I said, I didn't get any information on the condition, but this is my driving for dollars list. So I've already determined that there is physical distress on the property, visual distress at that. So the condition, I already know it needs work. It's just how much work it needs. Like I said, is it going to be a complete teardown or is it salvageable? I don't know his motivation, but he does have two properties right next to each other. The one was listed as his mailing address, but the way that he was talking about it, it makes it seem like he doesn't live in either one. I would may even guess that they're vacant. But again, that kind of vaguely speaks to his motivation, the fact that he's an absentee owner on at least one of the properties, and the distress, right? The fact that there is physical distress. His timeline, he said, this is what kind of kicked me over the edge on saying, you know what, I think this is a lead. He was saying, yeah, I'd love to get, like, I think that either one of them, each of them are worth 40,000, but I probably wouldn't be ready to sell for like another year. And I was like, okay, if I was able to be somewhere in that ballpark, is there any reason that you wouldn't sell earlier than that? And he responded to that with, well, how much would you offer? Right. So the fact that he even entertained it, I think that if I was able to get close to his asking price, the way that he's talking, just to summarize, the way that he was talking about it, he made it seem as if he was under the impression that he was going to have to wait a full year to see appreciation on the house in order to get that asking price of 40,000. Whereas I'm looking at it thinking I could probably do that right now. And I tried my best to not like blow my load, as Jordan Belfort would say. So if I could be somewhere in that ballpark, right? So he sounds interested. Like I said, the conversation ended really well, and that's one that I'm going to follow up with next week. Next week. Today's Monday. But yeah, all in all, hit about 550 dials, which is probably a few hundred properties, maybe about 200 properties. I only got 15 contacts though, because I was dialing through this list for the second, third time. That's going to be like a common thing for me nowadays in the hunt for this first deal. Is my budget's really low, and I'm forced to recycle these lists. But when I can get fresh data in there, I do. 550 calls, I dialed for about 2.5 hours. 15 contacts, and then I squeezed that what I'm considering a lead out of there. So good start to the week, in my opinion. I wish that I had some fresher data in there so that I can run the contacts up a little bit more, so I can hopefully squeeze a few more leads out of there. But it was good dialing session today. Got a hold of kind of my hottest lead as well, so that was good. Kind of set expectations for her when I'm going to follow up, what have you. And that follow-up right there, that was a good one as well. Don't know too much information, but they're interested. They're interested, and it doesn't seem like they're talking to anybody else. So I'm pretty excited for that one as well. But yeah, if anybody is watching these, dope. I appreciate you. I would appreciate you even more if you dropped a like, subscribe if you like. I really do plan on like upping the content when the cash flow starts coming in. I don't want to focus too much on the content, obviously, because I'm really locked in on just trying to generate these leads and close that first deal. That's why I'm not, if you do see any of my content on here, I'm just using my laptop webcam, and I'm not creating any fancy thumbnails or doing any fancy editing. It's just raw, uncut. So if you like it, I'd appreciate the like and subscribe, and drop a comment on things that you may have questions on. By no means am I an expert. By no means am I even in a position where I feel comfortable educating people. But I do feel like I've educated myself enough to where it's brought me to the point where I'm at. Right. So, list pulling, cold calling, any questions around that, I'd love to see if I could help you out. But till next time, appreciate you guys.